There are disorders that are recognized as extraordinary or superpower-like. Ever thought of what words taste like or how sounds look? Well, that sounds silly, but people with synesthesia actually experience this. Someone with this condition can see music, while another person can taste words. The experiences are always consistent. If someone is seeing colors upon hearing music, they will continue to see colors with music. It's not like the next day they wake up and start smelling sushi whenever they listen to Backstreet Boys. The same stimulus will always evoke the same secondary sensory response. It happens when two or more senses are linked in an unusual way. This means that when they encounter a particular stimulus through any of the 5 sense organs, it also triggers a completely different sense. You can mix, match, and come up with various permutations of synesthesia because it's not the same for everyone. One such is Grapheme Color Synesthesia, in which you can see letters or numbers as colors. For instance, the letter A always appears red or B is always silver. These people can read books without any pictures, since all the words are colored. If you match sound with colors, we get Chromestasia. This can give you superhuman musical abilities as you can see music. This can include musical notes, spoken words, or even ambient sounds. A person might see flashes of color when hearing certain music notes, with different pitches or instruments producing different colors. You can be creative and add a little bit of red to A minor and a bit of blue to C major, come up with something new. Some people can also taste words. Specific words trigger the sensation of taste. Hearing the word apple might actually make you taste apple, or Monday can taste like chocolate. At least someone is having sweet Mondays. With this, you can have Kafka as appetizer, Stephen King as the main course, and George Orwell as dessert. Now that's what I call a balanced diet. Mirror touch synesthesia is where an individual feels the same sensation as another person, creating next level movie experiences or nightmares. For example, if someone else is touched on the arm, the synesthete might feel the same sensation on their own arm. This can lead to heightened sense of empathy as the synesthete physically feels what they observe others experiencing. The exact cause of synesthesia is not fully understood, but is believed to be related to increased connectivity in different regions of the brain that are normally separate. Some people have trouble recalling what they had for dinner last night, or remembering any random event from a particular day. But not for someone with hyperthymesia. For them, it's child's play. It is also known as highly superior autobiographical memory because it gives an individual the ability to recall detailed events from their personal life with remarkable accuracy. You cannot gaslight these people into thinking something happened in the past. They can remember every single day of their lives with vivid detail, including specific dates, events, even the weather or what they wore on a particular day. They're Sherlock for their own lives. People with hyperthymesia have increased activity in different regions of the brain, particularly amygdala and the hippocampus. Amygdala is the region involved in processing of emotions and emotional memory. You remember an event from the past when you have an emotional connection to it, otherwise you'll forget it. And this heightened activity in amygdala contributes to strong emotional connection to past events. The hippocampus of individuals with hyperthymesia can be structurally different from normal people. It's the region that plays a crucial role in formation and retrieval of memories, so this one is a must-have for autobiography superpower. However, it's extremely rare, as since early 2000s, only 60 people are known to have hyperthymesia. Sometimes nature has to take matters into its own hands and produce geniuses. The French people decided to use the word savant, which means knowing or learned. It's a condition that gives a person extraordinary abilities in specific areas. You might be a mathematical genius who only talks in calculus, or is able to play Beethoven-level music. You can also replicate a piece of music by playing it just once, also known as perfect pitch. Other people might have exceptional artistic abilities that would make Da Vinci shy. Savant abilities are usually limited to 1 or 2 areas, which is why it's known as islands of genius. But it comes at a cost. Their social skills are subpar and often have trouble with communication. Savant syndrome is mostly associated with autism, but it can also occur in individuals with other developmental disorders or brain injuries. There's evidence that certain brain regions involved in specific skills, such as the right hemisphere, often linked with artistic and musical abilities, might be more active or developed in savants. This could explain their exceptional talents in areas like art and music. There's also a genetic component to it. Families who have produced savants before can continue to do so. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. Well, in this case, words are probably more likely to harm you if you have CIP. You can break your arm, get stabbed, or drink lava, which will kill you, but you will not feel any pain. It's because this condition makes you immune to pain. You can differ between sharp and dull objects or hot and cold sensations, but you can put your hand in boiling water and feel no pain. It will still burn your hand,
but you're gonna be happy about it.
This condition will definitely make you stand out from other people by staying stoic. Zeno and all the other stoics will be jealous because they had to work on stoicism, while if you have CIP, you're born with it. But no pain isn't always a good thing. A car might hit you and you might feel like you've landed in water because you're wet, but when you look, it's actually your own blood pouring out of your body. You can say, I'm okay, only to realize you can't walk because your legs are broken, and now you have to wait until someone picks you up from the highway. You may even have an injury that might go unnoticed since you cannot feel it, and with time it can get worse. It doesn't really work that well with heartbreaks. You can still feel it. However, you can recreate the Game of Thrones fire scene, but only once. Williams syndrome is something that the introverts fear. It's a condition that makes you like people. It makes you overly friendly and social. Kids with Williams syndrome have a higher chance of being kidnapped, not because they follow the kidnapper because of candy or puppies, but because they wanted to have a nice chat with them. They're highly sociable, engaging, empathetic, and hated by all introverts. They look different too. If you ever see a person who looks like a real-life adaptation of an animated person, next thing to check off the list is if he's overly friendly. Chances are you have encountered a wild Williams syndrome Pokemon. They have relatively strong language skills, particularly in terms of vocabulary and expressive language, because I don't know if you have noticed, words are a prerequisite to be social. Their hearing abilities lie on the scale of somewhere between better than an average human to not as good as a dog. You're not there yet, making them sensitive to sound, and certain frequencies and loud noises can be uncomfortable to them. People with this condition are usually short and have dental problems, probably from speaking too much, and also have cardiovascular problems, which indicates that being social is not very good for your heart. Just kidding, it is good for your health. Go be social. If you close your eyes, you should know where your rest of the body is. Yes, even in this position. For no good reason, if you decide to walk with your eyes closed and forget where your legs were, it's impossible to take the next step. You'll take a gigantic fall. This is the case with people who lose their proprioception abilities. It's not always a good scenario if your hands act on their own accord. It's also known as sixth sense, but we are talking about people who have enhanced sixth sense. It allows them to see exactly where their body is, even when doing weird poses, without ever seeing them, which allows them to coordinate movements smoothly and accurately. Even the slightest changes in muscle tension, joint angles, or posture can be detected by them, which can also be annoying. This makes them really good at skills that require motor control, such as playing an instrument, dancing, gymnastics, or other sports that require precise body movements. If you see someone juggle 7 balls with a blindfold on, they have pretty good proprioception abilities. They're also good at replicating movement they see someone else perform, making them easily learn to dance like Michael Jackson or learn the Bye Bye Deadpool dance. Imagine you're a kid and you're going to get some ice cream with other kid friends of yours. All your friends are getting 3 ice creams, but when it's your turn, you get 4. Why is that? It's because you are a superhuman for colors. Normally people have 3 types of cone cells in their eyes. That allows them to see about 1 million colors, but you have 4 types of cone cells. An extra cell that allows you to see up to 100 million colors. You think rainbow has 7 colors? Not for you. You are what is known as a tetrachromat. While the world is seeing less and less colors, tetrachromats on the other hand are seeing more color differences, which is why they're not desired in any political situation. You and your friend go to an open field, vegetated by grasses, herbs, and other plants. Your friend says how beautiful the nature is, it's so green. He turns to you and you are absolutely bawling over the other 99 million colors you can see better. Those may not technically be new colors, but shades of already existing colors. The 4th type of cone cell that you have is sensitive to wavelengths of light that lie between those detected by other 3 cone cells. Ongoing research is where scientists make tetrachromats sit and ask about their perception of the world, because there's no other way of understanding it. It's very scientific, trust me. It is extremely rare and mostly affects a small percentage of women and is mostly a genetic component. Hyperlexia. Every child has to go through school prison to learn to read and write, but some children decide to skip their sentence. Hyperlexia is a condition where children at a very early age are typically able to decode written words and read fluently, sometimes at the age of 2 or 3. They have never been taught how to do it. They just take matters into their own hands and figure it out. It's like they have a train to catch and they need to be able to read the timings and name of the train at the dashboard. It comes at a cost of developmental issues such as language comprehension and other social skills, which is a bit odd. It would make more sense that their social skills are hindered since they are becoming nerds at such a young age, but it is thought that if they can read early, they should be able to comprehend it too. But that's not always the case. There are 3 types of hyperlexic kids. Type 1 are the ones who simply learn to read early and it does not really really give them any edge over others. It's just a cool party trick. They show interest in letters and numbers and usually develop social skills in line with their peers. Type 2 ones are often associated with dyslexia. They can read and learn advanced reading skills but not understand anything. They memorize the words as they have an obsession to do so, but not make sense out of it. Type 3 kids learn social skills as they grow, but as they do, their hyperlexic reading abilities start to diminish. They do develop megamind memory as they memorize tons of words or even the entire book. They could pass for a walking audiobook when they were not invented. Eidetic memory. Imagine going to the mall for just a walk. When you come back later on, you decide to buy some clothes from the clothing store. You decide to pull up the memory of the store when you were walking around and browse all the options in your head. When you finally visit the store again in pajamas, because it will not take that long, you go to the exact place where the item is present, make the purchase, and leave. Eidetic memory is commonly known as photographic memory and is the ability to vividly recall images, sounds, or objects with extreme precision and detail after only a few moments of exposure. If you and your friends group reminisce about something that happened in the past, everyone else will be vague and have their own interpretations of what happened, but you will describe everything in great detail as if you're actually looking at the scene. It only lasts for a short time though.
That's what she said!
Usually for seconds to minutes after the usual stimulus is not present. It's more common in children than adults, and people with eidetic memory have more developed or active visual cortex. While it's not perfect, you will still be the coolest person in the block.